tell me now, I'm talking here with Jim Smith out at his rock house home, and I don't know what community you call this. Do you have a name for this place?
Well, that's the Lucy Abbott place right down there. This is Patton Creek.
Patton Creek.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one part of Patton Creek, and the other part's on the other side. Where that big mountain goes up there, it goes right on to Jamestown.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jim, tell me, when did you move into this rock house here?
Well, it's going on 50 years now. I've done been here over 40.
Wow. How'd you come to do this now? What time? Where were you born?
Well, I was born on Ivy, but I lived down there at the Dave Stonecypher place. And it's 4 houses for that mountain right there that you see.
Uh-huh.
They're bit and gray. And it's 3 or 4 miles from there on down to where I lived. Well, I had one girl, Dorothy, one boy, Lester. He's telling about him coming here with him. He lived at about town somewhere, I don't know where. Well, she had heart dropsy and storage heart and something else. I forget now what it's called. I hauled it up here and it come off of snow. It was. And I went out here to hauling this one, having to call Shelly Crabtree at Jamestown to come here taking me to Crossroads and go at the doctor. And by the time I got back, Sam Abbott was along, and he's dead now. Well, he knew where this cleft was. I didn't know then. I was working over on the other side over there, cutting timber. But I had never been just up the road here, down the road there, so I've never been. Well, when I come back, the wagon come on around this way. I followed on around here. He had the wagon sitting over on here, and a big fire built up, and her laying in the bed, and this I kept her here 4 days and nights before he'd ever get in here to get her. And the next Saturday, she died with her head on my shoulder up there down there.
Right here in this?
No, down there where it lived.
Uh-huh. Was that a regular house?
Yeah, that's his house. As she died, I moved up here on top hill out here at this cornfield then. And then I come from there here. And I've been here I'll be here the rest of my life.
When was it that, do you have any idea about what year you moved in here into
No, I don't know. I don't remember that.
Well, now tell me you grow a lot of your own food here.
Oh, I grow a little bit. I don't grow no lot of it. I ain't able to.
Well, did you used to grow more?
Oh, yeah, I used to back before I got down to the little Lortha boy. But I got now, I ain't able to. Just barely can walk and get around. That hand there's all going away.
So you do have a garden, though?
Oh, yeah.
And how do you work the garden?
I plow that new land.
Uh-huh. Well, how much do you grow now?
Oh, I don't grow my little. There might be 3 or 4 bushels of beans I've thrown up there. I don't know. That's what I use right then. They end up.
Uh-huh. You got some plows here you hook up behind the mules. Is that right?
Yeah, that's where it sits.
I see. Okay. And how do you get the rest of your food? You go into town?
I go to town and get it. Bob Dixon takes me out there once a month for the school once a month.
That's you go to town once a month? Okay.
So all I can afford to put out money for it costs us too much.
Yeah. Well, now I see you got kind of a board, a wooden frame kind of structure here. Do you live inside that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. It never gets too cold in there either.
I was going to say, how do you keep warm in the winter?
I've got one of them big steel drums like that and sitting over there, see,
Uh-huh.
in there for a stove.
And you burn wood?
Yeah. You see, I've got some snaked up there. I'm going to snake some more when the flies gets to like handle that mule. Can't jump away when the flies is bad like they are now.
Uh-huh. Hmm. What do you do all winter?
I just do what I'm doing right now. Just sit here.
Man, doesn't it get cold?
Well, I know. What for it is right there and putting that stove in the snow, I hear that deep. I can put you in there and shut that door in that other end, and fast you couldn't get out, and you die now in just a few minutes.
Right.
I've done tried that. This fellas come here from Minnesota last winter, the snow was about that deep, and they hollered out there at that skidway. They didn't see no smoke. Ain't you got no smoke? And I was sitting in on the bench in there, and I got a stepped out of here, and I said, yeah, I've got a handful. Oh, he said, we're froze dead. And they had big old coats on from down to the top of the shoes, and another big coat under it, and it looked like a... Didn't hit you to him. Set him off. And I had a big stick of wood there. Get on over there. Come on over there.
And what'd you say to him?
And I just put in this big vet in the dry stick, and I just put in that and shut the door there, and just stepped back there. In just a few minutes, one of them jumped up. There's two of them. He started that old coat, gave him that, and turned it off in both hands. He said, where's the damn door at? I went to laughing. And the other jumped and said, I want out the door, something burning up. And the sweater just run streaming off them then. I opened the door, they went out here and just pushed everything they had open. They wouldn't go back in there more. They stood there till after I left it. Yeah. I got a little...
What is this now you got?
Huh?
What's this here?
That's a little hickory that I put the cat with.
Oh. So where do you get your water from?
Right around there.
Is it a...
Other side of the barn there.
Is it a spring or a creek?
Yes, sir, it's a spring. Comes right out from this big mountain here.
Uh-huh. Get your water there. And how about this barn now? When did you put this up?
I put that up this spring.
And what's that, for your mules?
Yeah, mule mine.
You got 2 mules.
No, one mule and mine.
Oh, okay.
I wish I had 2 mules.
That's all the animals you have out here, except for your cats.
I got 2 or 3 dogs here, but they don't know what's coming around. But sure, I've got them trained to stay away from the house.
Uh-huh. And you got some chickens?
I got 2 hens and 3 roosters.
Okay. How come you end up, you say you only go to town once a month?
Yeah.
How often do you see people? How often do people come visit?
Oh, there's somebody comes here every day or 2, maybe. Some days it'd be maybe 5 or 6 bunches, maybe all over the country, from Stern, Minnesota, Jamestown, every place else here, Oneida. They come in here to take pictures of this, They've got enough pictures stuck of it now. You couldn't pile them on this cliff if you had them all here.
So you don't mind having people come visit you?
No.
Well, I was going to ask you, why'd you decide to live way out here? What is it about here you like?
Well, I'll tell you what's the truth. If they'd give me everything there is in Jamestown, make me a deed to it, I'd give it to some other man and get share of it. Figures I could hand it to him. I wouldn't live in town at all. I'm as close to town as I want to be and as close to the highway as I want to be.
What is it out here that...
There's nothing bothers me here. And around the highway in town, it'd be one car after another, and that's all it'd be.
Yeah?
I'd rather be aggravated. That mule there was with them running back and forth, the noise of them.
Do you get much people on strip miners around here?
Huh?
They're strip miners out here?
Yeah, they're strip mining over there.
Ain't much fun,
You see that road, the highway went up left there. Well, they're down on the end of that ridge. You know where Will Patton lives, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, they got straight up above his house, right up this way on top of the bluff there. It's 5 or 6 miles from out that road where you turn from this road here down towards that. They say they won't lie nobody down there around where they're working. The guards won't let them go down in that toll where they're working. They run night and day there.
What do you think of that strip mining?
Well, I don't know what they're going to do about that. They'll push everything out, you know, but claim they've got to put all that dirt back, you know, get it back up, but they'll push all them trees and everything out, you know. Everything will be gone. Well, they're cutting that timber. Charles Beatty is down there now. He bought that timber, and he's cutting the head of them. And, of course, they're pushing the tops and everything else. And none of the dirt, you know. And,
Well, what do you think of them doing that at all? Does that bother you? You think it's okay?
no, it won't bother me.
Uh-huh. But he told me sometimes, how do you get into town when you go in?
Oh, Bob Dixon takes me.
He comes out here and gets you?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff do you buy in town? Like?
Oh, I get about 8 or 10 sacks of corn at a time, or 10 or 15 sacks of sweet feed, just whichever one I get. That's to do me a month.
Uh-huh.
That's really not just go once a month.
Do you have any kind of refrigeration?
No,
What about, do you drink any milk, or
I don't never drink no milk.
how about meat?
Huh?
How about meat, you know, bacon, or...
Oh, I don't eat much bacon. It blows my heart. I guess about all the people died of heart trouble, you know. And meat works on the heart. I eat too much bacon.
Well, do you eat any kind of meat?
Yeah, I eat hog meat sometimes. I don't want no beef. I wouldn't give you a nickel for one beef that mule on it. It's skinned out right here.
So you don't, so you eat some hog meat once in a while?
Yeah.
How do you get that?
I buy it out here 10 bricks.
Will it stay without refrigeration?
Yeah, I just get enough for a mess at a time. I don't get enough to hold it over. I bought a piece or two and cooked some sugar green beans here and eat it.
And where do you cook now?
I cook fruit beans. I eat them about all the time. Sometimes I cook mess and green beans out there.
Uh-huh. I said, but you cook here on this stove?
Yeah, winter and summer both.
That's a wood-burning stove?
Yeah. That's one of them small heating stoves. I was just about burned up and getting ready to buy me another.
Oh.
They cost about $200.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, about $200 for one of them, right? But on the right had one of them, and I asked him price up, and he wanted $200 for it, and I just turned and walked off. I said, better do that a year or two longer, maybe. Maybe to get cheaper, hire one. get hired, I'll just be on the rock furniture.
Tell me, you've been out here a long time. Can you tell me any stories or tales of anything funny or strange that's happened to you out here?
No, I don't. I never did pay no attention to them. I've heard many one of them, but I just let them go through 1 year and out there and forget it all.
Did anything ever happen to you out here?
No, that never did bother me. As far as ever I knowed, it had, and I knowed, I guess somebody else knowed something about it too. Wouldn't just have been me.
I guess so. All right, well now, Jim, you've done some moonshining in your time. Can you tell me how you got started doing that?
Yes,
First time, when was that?
Yes, sure. I was about 10 years old. I was just big enough to carry a 10-pound sack of sugar. That's when it got then. Went to my daddy. He'd made all his life, and he died. And I finally got big enough to handle it myself, and I just quit going. Him got me one more. Started then.
Where was that? Over in Oneida?
Yeah.
Tell me how it works. Now, I've never seen one. Can you explain to me how it works?
Oh, yeah. You put beer in barrels just like that. There used to be wooden barrels, but you can't get any more now. And mold it and sugar it and let it work off. Have your furnace built and pot sitting in it. And pour it, and that would be a really big fire. And you got a big warm barrel over here, and a big worm goes down in it, well warm. And big arm comes out here at the cap, back over there, and down here at the bottom, the other end of it, the bottom of the barrel, there's where you catch your whiskey at. I can walk up where you was making whiskey and just get about as close to you to it, and when it puts on alcohol, I can tell you right then you better move it. The next will be water.
Oh. You can tell by the smell.
I can tell the look. Of course, he can too.
So now I was in Oneida.
Yeah.
Now, then, did you set one up when you moved out here?
Yeah.
How many?
I run here for over 4 years.
Mm-hmm. 4 years?
I got 6 cut up right down at Holly in about 5 years ago.
40.
Oh, you see?
40 years you say you were doing it out here. Say, how many years? 40?
Yeah.
And you had 6 stills out there?
Had 6 right down at Holly there. And revenues cut them up too.
Now what? Tell me about that. Like, I guess you got raided some, huh?
I got rid of it faster than I could make it.
Tell me about that. How'd they catch you?
Well, they didn't catch me at that.
They didn't?
No.
What do you mean they tore them up?
They went down there and blew them up with stuff just like this. You drop in something, blow it up.
Dynamite. They dynamited them, but they didn't know they were yours?
I don't know whether they know this mine or not.
But they didn't catch you.
The second they cut it, blew it down there. I was working over at Lazy Sharp's, and I didn't want her to know nothing about it, and I laid off. Next day I noticed. Thought barrel I was getting ready to run. I'd run one night before, and I just got 2 gallons and a half whiskey out. It wasn't ready to run. I'd mold it back. Well, I got my malt that day, and out here, I went down there. It was about 1 or 2 o'clock, and had a little black dog. Just a little bit of thing, and he'd let me know if there's anybody coming. He'd get behind me. He'd run behind me and grab, get right between my legs, look at them grab who's coming. Beat me, and if it's behind me, he'd run around me, turn, look back and grab. And I went down there and opened one of them looked, one I thought was going to be red, and it was just rolling, bottling up just over the top of it. Well, I said, I just mauled it, and I just throwed it pretty good and stowed it. Throwing back over it and licked it off in that thing, and just grabbed that sack of malt and just poured it right in that. I never even stirred up nothing. And just throwed the cover back over it, and just rested in a half-gallon fruit jar, about a quart of pure bull water. Highest, you know what it is, highest you ever see.
What is it called?
Bull water.
Bull water?
That's right.
That's the purest?
That's the purest. Yeah, that's the first come.
And that's the best?
High shot. That's high shot. They call it bull water.
Bull water?
Yeah.
Okay. So then what happened?
And just about the time I unscrewed the lid on it, that dog was laying up on the bank about that high up above it, burrowed. He said, ah. And just stretched out like that toward me. I just ducked my head like that and had that can and unscrewed the lid and looked about as first minute that there skidway there. I saw that young revenue coming in green clothes on. I just throwed it up like that and let every drop run down my neck and just dropped the bottle. Just wheeled around, hooked him under my arm like that, and right down through I went. And that old revenue, his daddy, of course, was. He was just about as first minute that log yard down below and we went to bushes. And I kept my hand over his mouth, and he was taking my picture. He told me when it went to cut the license up, like laying right there, I was laying on the bench there, and the old horse boy got it back in my neck there and the head, and I had to get up and hit that wall there, catch it in my hand, keep hitting my head again. And there's 6 of them, and he said, would you like to see your picture? I said, yeah, I would. I didn't think I had my picture, you know. Well, he just pulled out his belt over there and was in there and pulled the hand turn. When he did, I took it. When the hand Timmy turned it, when you see that dog, no. I come to there fainting, falling off, and I know it's going now. And he said, I said, Smith, he said, if you had to turn just when you did to the right there, said you'd run right smack dab over me. Said I'd had jumped up. Said I was taking your picture all the time. Said what time you was coming. Said had your hand over that little dog did. And I said yeah, I see it there, and I still holding it. Well, he said blow that other up tomorrow down there. Said you go down to liquor. Said I know you have. Said you're not drunk. But said I know you got some liquor. And I just called around you at the spring now around there. And there's a big other bunch there. I burned it down and fed the mules around the mare and could copy it, get in the bottom. And I'd crawled in at that fur door and just turned up and drunk about that much of that and just threw it up on the bed. It was just laying up there. And I seen it come right on that dog bark. And I looked around the bench for the time. I looked around and I scolded and coming out there. I'll be able to go a little further now, where it used to be there. And I see him stop looking in there. I said, yeah, I got some. Well, there's a great big one standing over there, and he wouldn't have sit down. The other 3 of the others went up the creek and up the side of the mountain, and the hollow was still. And I remember hunting from there still. Well, he'd sit down right in my head, sitting there. Well, he said, Smith, said, you ain't drunk. Said, I'd just like to have a good show. He just said, Smith, that big one standing there, he must have been told you would be on top of Bill's, on top of his head there. Well, I found this dog down there and rolled off and down here and got pulled back on the bench there. He got up, and I made a run for that, and I stuck both hands up there. He threw me back like it, I felt the wall on me too, and I got the door and went on in there. And I made a run, went over that bed, and my head went in the wall there. I crawled back off the bed, got that jar, got up, straightened up, and unscrewed the lid, and handed it to him. He took it, and I turned up, smelled it. I thought he was going to suck it. He made it fast too. suck it. And says, you are, you gonna drink it. Directly he hands that in there, and he had to stoop over like that, you know, get his head down there, get it. He got that there, and he smelled it, and he backed on the way along our channel with it, and just smelling of it, there's another stand there, great big heat there. I always did to him. He said, you didn't drink no moonshine like I said, get that away from him. He said, if I wasn't on duty, he said, I'd drink half of that, and that old stand there, big stand there, in Washington. He said, yeah, he said, you drink half of it. He said, I'd knock you, said, from over that other bluff down there, there's another cliff there. He said, but I'd get half of one. He said, you'd have to do it off creek. He said, I'd swallow it when it got to my mouth. And he gave it back to him then, and he smelled of it for 30 minutes, and finally handed it to me, and I put it back. And he sat back, and they did, and I come out and built the wall back then, down on the bench, and laid down, and they come on. Back there, 12 the other three did. And he said, did you find another steel? No, said, we didn't find none. He said, I didn't think you'd find down that way. I said, no, I know you wouldn't. I said, wasn't no steel in the pasture field. I said, I know you wasn't going to find nothing in there. I said, it's fenced. Well, he said, Smith, he said, I'll tell you. He said, you lay here on the bench tomorrow. He said, I'm going to blow that other one up. He said, no, and if you ever put up there another one, he said, and I'll come back and get here. He said, I want to take you with us. I said, well, thank you, mister.
So they didn't run you in?
No.
Huh. Well, how long ago was that, Jimmy?
That's been about 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, it's long enough. It ain't longer for it now. Ken the dog. It's been too long now.
Had you ever gotten caught before besides that one time?
Yes, I've done put up 3 times, and this time get me put force, and then that's what this hunting for me for. Said, we want your bird. He said, you got a bird. He said, you got too many barrels. There's 8 barrels up there working. Said, you had too many. They wanted barrels. 8 barrels still. Said, we know we got a buddy. I said, well, why didn't you get him? Well, he never did come back more after load that up next morning. Yeah, but his boy, that had them green clothes on, he made several trips back in another one. Last time he come, had Dolly up in that old white Ford, and was sitting there and had horns on when I was mixing wood. Well, he said, give you $1,000 for her. I said, yeah, I guess you will. I said, I paid $1,000 for her. I said, I know I want this. Well, he said, you wouldn't take 2,000, would you? I said, no, I didn't buy it at sale. He said, I've got 2. He said, but they're red. He said, just like it, same stock. He said, I would take $2,000, piece of mine. I said, no, you won't get mine either. Well, he never did come back more than some other ones. I didn't know they come. Somebody said they sent him away in the north something.
When's the last time one of them came?
Well, it's been 5 or 6 months ago since I know anything about.
That one came to check to make sure you didn't have a still going.
Yeah.
How much, when you were doing it, though, back over the years, is that how you made most of your money?
That's where we made it all.
To
live on.
How much money would you sell it for back when you started?
I sold it $3 for half a gallon. $6 a gallon.
How about more recently, like before they came and blew this up? How much was it up to?
I always sold it, not those $6 a gallon, $3 for half. And they did sell it in higher than that there. When the other fellows are selling stuff you couldn't drink for $8 and $10 half, that's the way it went.
Come out to you?
Yeah, come out here at the house and got it.
Uh-huh. Would you sell it to anybody?
Yeah, I sold it to anybody that come.
Now, if I came down the road here, you never saw me before.
I just sold it to you then, just the same.
Okay.
Just the same, it made no difference. I sold the law, high sheriffs, and everything else come with.
Oh. You think your stuff was pretty good?
Yeah.
You have a good reputation?
Yes, sir.
That's right.
I had good enough one the last time they tried me. I made my own bonds for $5,000 and stayed up 20 a year, didn't I?
How much money might you make in a year? Got any idea?
Oh, I made $500 or $600 a year.
Uh-huh.
Enough to live on.
Just enough to live on. You're going to put my stuff back. I just had enough to live on, that's all. Moonshiner don't make nothing. The man that bootlegs one makes a living. He gets rich off me.
Well, what do they do?
Well, they double the price on it. They get it to you for nothing, and then they raise two prices and sell it to the other man.
I see.
Just like these merchants does in these stores. We get half price and says, you sack of flour, a sack of meal for $5 or $8. I paid $8 a sack for flour right out here at the truck place.
Huh.
Now that's the truth. I quit trading that too. I don't trade anymore.
Did people, would you ever swap whiskey for stuff instead of money? Would they give you something else?
Oh yeah.
What kind of things would you trade for?
Just anything I wanted.
Like what? What kind of things would people trade you?
Well, they blow the look of the Lord or something. I swapped some liquor for it. Blow a sack of flour, a sack of meal. I swapped some liquor for it. They wrote a sack of beans. I swapped some liquor for that star.
Mm-hmm.
Any way to make a living.
Right.
You got to make a living before you live.
There's moonshine to eat, wasn't it?
Yeah. Sure.
You think there's much moonshining still going on here in Pickett or Fentress County?
I don't know if there's any in Pickett County. I don't know it. If there's any in Fentress, I don't know it either.
Uh-huh.
But I don't buy no moonshine liquor anymore. I've seen a little of it, and I know, I can tell by the looks of it where it's fit to drink and where your daughter drinks it not, and I wouldn't drink none of it.
Uh-huh.
I'd drunk coal oil before I'd drunk it.
Right.
And so that's the way it went.
Well, now tell me, can you think of any more, you must know some more stories about things that happened, like when those revenuers tried to blew up your still. Something happened? I mean, did you ever get in any fights with people, or, you know, any kind of strange things happen when you were selling moonshine?
Mm-hmm. No, I never had no trouble with nobody. I just sold it to them, tell them to get going with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it get sold in a minute. Get through with it when they got it.
How did they catch you when you went to jail?
Well, last time we went, he swore a lie on me and sent me, and he's in hell now putting up his term.
He put a lie on you?
Yeah, wearing that big white hat in hell now. He's got that big pistol on him. And the devil, I guess, is having trouble with him.
What do you mean he put a lie on you?
Swore I had 12 gallons of whiskey on my back and 150 gallon outfit still, didn't he, Doc? He swore 3 times before they got through with it, and when they got through with it, I got up and told the judge straight about it. He asked him which one of them streets you come, this one, that way or that, and he said, get your deputies and hit the road. He said, don't you look back no more. Said, you get from the other side. Said, you swore enough lies. Said, here to hang this man and 10,000 more. Said, you and nobody else said couldn't put 12 gallons of whiskey on a mule or a horse and take it off.
Uh-huh.
Said that couldn't hold through the sack. Said, no, he swore a lie. Said, the first time he ever swore it. And he hit the road, too. He said, I gave him a year and a day for it, for being sent up twice before. That's all we got sent for it.
A year and a day. Where'd you get sent?
I went,
Wasn't that?
Knoxville,
Where?
Knoxville, Alabama.
Uh-huh.
And I was lowered in the hospital 4 months later for them. Back, that cost Uncle Sam $3,000, and that's the reason why they didn't want me anymore. They said they didn't. Said it was too expensive.
Ah!
Said they lied over me for 4 months.
Wow.
They done give me up to die. Said wouldn't live over a year if I lived that long. I'm still living. That's been a few years ago, ain't Doc?
Yeah.
Now, so when you got back out of jail, did you come right back here to live again?
Yeah.
And have you always lived in this one cave, or
Yeah.
was there another one you lived
I
in?
lived right here.
Right here. All right, now
His cousins put the law out of the, up there where his undertakers. They told him, get him out of there, get him out quick. And he went in there and told him to move, you're moving out of there. That's his cousin, that's what they tell me. They were sitting up with him, and they come in there. And they just went in there and told him, get them out of there.
get the body out?
Get them law out, just quick as you can get them out
Get
of
the
there.
law out.
FBI.
The FBI.
That was at that
Funeral home.
at the funeral home for
Yeah.
Billy D. Anderson.
Yes, and he was right in there, and he was in there sitting up there with him.
The FBI was in there too?
They come in there, and one of them went in there and told that, of course, his aim, they shot him, they had got him out of there, and they got him out of there. He went in there and told him, said, you better hit the road right now, leave here.
You mean you think one of the FBI might have gotten shot at if they didn't get out?
Yeah.
Huh. Now, did you ever, you said you met him one time? Where was that?
I sure did, right up here in the courthouse. That was back about the time that he was shot that patrol, wasn't it? T. Webb. They sent him off, and they're going back to trying them for shooting this man, you know, that law too long. And when that man that run the beer giant died, made the affidavit, didn't he? He done the killing. Well, they never did show up no after that they killed him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He laid here 3 and 4 times a week, every day, like that guard at my house here, you know.
Well, wait, they here at your house? Why, they thought he'd come here?
Yeah, I thought he told me he stayed here.
And wait, after he escaped from jail, and you were living out here, they had people watching your place
Yeah,
to see if
they
he'd
did.
come
They
here?
watched it.
Different houses.
They watched everything. So that mule run away with me out there in Beanfield last spring, and split that fire beam wide open as far as that orange nigger on top of the bottom, you know. And he finally got loose on when he did, he killed him, tore him all pieces.
Oh. Well, now, you told me one day you thought that an FBI agent came here looking for him and was offering you some money?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. How did that happen?
Well, I was sitting here on the bench there, I was sitting down here. And I see two coming out there. Well, they come on, and they had big rifles, both of them did. And, well, I moved the bench over by where she's sitting, moved a couple of that there, and I sit down there. Well, they said, you know if anybody making any whiskey in the place around here? That's where they started up on it, you know. And I said, no, I don't know about it. Why don't you make no more? I said, no, I don't make no more. Well, said, we think you do. I said, I don't think I do, though. I said, I don't make none. I said, I used to make it. I said, I don't deny it. I said, I used to make it. Yeah, I said, we know all about it. I said, you used to make it. I said, you've been set off, too, 3 times ago, didn't you? I said, yeah. Well, Dickley, he had that big thing on his back there, you know. he set it off down there, you know, and pulled out a big white handkerchief. Well, he said, on tied it, you know, he said, here's half of $10,000. Where's Billy Anderson? I said, I know nothing about Billy Anderson. I said, I never seen Billy Anderson one time in my life. Where'd you see him at? I said, see him up here in the courthouse. I said, when they brought him in, I said, down Nashville. Well, they said, what did he have on? I said, he had a pair of steel braces on his arm, about that long. I said, fastened on his arm and steel on his legs. Well, said, you speak to him? I said, no, I didn't speak to him. I said, I didn't even know who he was. I said, I asked some of them after I got through my case and got out who that man was. And they said, that's Billy Anderson, one that shot Steve Webb. And said that other one, he was from Los Angeles, California, is where he claims he is from, a young fellow about the size of you. And the other one, Haven, he is, when he's tall. And he said, I believe he lied, don't you? He's talking that, Biggins told me. Yeah, he said, I think he did. And boy, it flew all over me then. It's a good thing I wasn't about half once then. I'd kill both of them. I got squeezed, got in the floor there. I got him two in there. I'd have got both of them. He wouldn't have got me. I'd got both of them.
Yeah.
And I said, more than that, I said, even if I know, I said, and it's dirty enough to go and tell you anything about it, I said, I'd not take 9 damn penny of your money. He said, how you living? I said, I'm living. I said, still going. I said, I didn't take none of your money. I said, I wouldn't even tell you if I knowed what he said. He jumped up then when I tell him, he shot one shoot down here. Went on up there and shot through my car then. If I'd known if he'd done that and been up there, I'd took him out of the stretch. I killed him with a boat. He went back to Los Angeles, California with tape on something or other.
Did they ever tell you they were FBI agents?
No.
But you just figured they were?
I know they were, but they're actions. I can tell, if you was a revenue man walk up here, I could tell you in a minute. Exactly who you are.
Might you're dead. Might you're dead.
You know Shadow Crabtree, don't you?
Yeah.
I'll tell you one about that now. Last winter, a year ago, Guy Coffey's out of the plantation now. Well, he had him coached. You heard about that? No, about it. Well, it was awful cold here. There's a little snow on the ground, about 3 years. I had, but wasn't much far in there, and I heard somebody talking, and I got up to the door there and looked around there. It was Shirley, I know him. Well, there's a...
What's his name?
Shirley Crabtree.
Okay.
And there was another one with him about the side of him, behind him, black-headed, bare-headed. Well, he went on to their door, and I want 2 gallons of liquor right now. And I said, Shirley, I ain't got none. I ain't got draft. He said, you have. I said, I want 2 gallons. I said, I ain't got none. Well, he'd stopped up there for us listening. I'd stepped out and go around. Shirley stepped up in there. I said, come on in. I ain't got none. Well, he come on and sit down. The minute that he come in, there they did speak. And he sat down and he sat down and looked at the two tours. He said, I want 2 gallons right now. 2 gallons. I said, I ain't got it out. I said, well, I was going to give it to you. I said, you know I would. Well, what's the matter? I said, they cut you up lately? I said, yeah, they cut me up. When? I said, about a year ago. Didn't you know that? No, said I didn't. Well, I said, they did. Well, he turned around like that and looked down. Said, you know where? Did you get our steel at? No, he said, don't know where you get our steel. But said, he'd have to have some other stuff besides steel. And she said, yeah, said, they'll have a wand, said, stump post and a capstan all go with it. Yeah, he said, I've got warm, you know, just like that night you have till the date put up on. Said, I've got half of it, said 60-something feet of it. And, well, Joe said he'd just have that. Said, maybe he'd get one, you know. If he had that, maybe the rest of it. But when could we bring it? Joe said, oh, we'll bring it tomorrow night. Yeah, I said, yeah, we bring it. Well, the next evening, just about sundown, about the same time, I just happened to get up, sitting there, and looked out there, and I was just coming right along between that log yard there and the house there, and Shirley had it on his dun coil and on his back, you know, coming with it.
And what was he bringing?
Still warm, and wrote in, sit down, and here's this warm now. Said, ain't you got in that pot? And I said, no, I ain't got in that pot. I said, I ain't been no place getting no pots. Well, they sit down there and he didn't talk mighty little. He said, directly, he kind of looked down at Shirley, you know, and said, you'd have to have meal or something, sugar, wouldn't you? Shirley said, yeah. Said, you know, you'd have to have meal. Shirley said, just like I cook mine in, you know. Well, said, how much did it take, Shirley? Shirley said, oh, said it'd take, because he was going to come and get it now. Carry it out and steal. All I had to do was just run it, and then they'd come and carry it out. You know. Okay. All was sugar and meal in it, you know, to win. And, well, he said, if you're going to make anything to mind anything, he said, take about 500 pounds and about 4 bushels of meal. Said, start off on make anything. So when you bring that Shirley, oh, he said, we'll bring it tomorrow night. Well, just a little after dark that night, they'd come wagging a 100-pound sack and an old dry sack like they used to get in the olden times, you know all about it. That's what it was in, you know. You know, the dry sack, 100 pounds each one.
100 pounds of meal?
Oh, sugar.
Sugar. Okay.
And, well, he said, these 3 more sacks up there. I said, we got 500 pounds of it. He went talking then, you know. He rode back and went talking. Well, I said, he said, we brought 4 bushels of meal. I said, it's up there too. All right. I went up there with him. Yeah, said we could carry it down. And I said, well, I took this out here and laid it down on my bank, that sugar there. I said, well, it's in the house. They carried it out there and laid it down. I went up there and I carried this bushel of meal down here. I know what I was going to do with it. I know I was going to feed my dogs when I got it. And they carried the sugar. But then, I said, let's go in there and sit down now where we can rest a few minutes. Went in there. I was a little too sharp for him. You know. I said, just how much now would that run up to? Oh, $150. Said that and stay warm. Oh, said, I'll let you have $150. I just felt back and he'd probably look at it, go and probably look at it. I said, yes, 50. That's 100. Oh, I said, we're going to take the sugar. I said, we're going to take whiskey for that sugar and meal. I said, warm. I said, no, I'm going to pay for all this stuff. I said, and then when you get the whiskey, I said, you can pay me the money. Here. I said, I'll take the money. I'd rather have the money. I said,
yeah.
Anything else. Well, they sat there an hour then. They was going to leave just a minute. They sit down. He sat there and he kept his eye on that money and looked at it, him and Shirley both. And finally, Shirley got up and said, well, we better go. He got up and turned around and come out the door and then turned the rest back and picked it up and went out the door with it. Well, we'll be back in a week. Me and Shirley, well, Shirley never showed up more, and he better not never come back more around me. I done told her to tell him, stay away from you and never come here more. And so it was, he never come back in about a week. He said, I've got to go to I forgot. I've got to go to Indiana. He said, I killed a nigger up there. I said, and they got me warrant for him. He said, if they don't send me off, I'll come back in a week. Night. He said, go in the morning up there and have a trial with killing that nigger. I said, all right. And, well, here's the snow, and this is hard as you could pour, and I got there. That old chainsaw that I bought you $100 for it. I'd done spending that on it. I bought a brand new one. I bought a brand new one, and I got sitting in there now. I paid $300 for it, and it blowed up on me. And carried him and another big one come. Boy, when the biggest two of him, he was very easy. Well, he run right up and planted down on the log there. Ain't you never got that made yet? I said, no, I ain't never made it. I said, I ain't never found our steel yet. I said, I can't make it in the snowing gun like it is today nowhere if I had a steel. Well, they talked a few words, and that other never did speak. He just sat there. I know he was another one of them revenue. And he said, we'll have to go. But, yeah, there you go. He said, he'll be back in a week. And I said, I'm wanting to load that whiskey when it comes. I said, well, all right, if I've got it, you can have it. I just quit after he went on, come on the house and sit down, leave the show down. And about 3 nights, he popped up out the door and he had one of these big old paper sacks. Oh, it was that long, that one of the main big size. And there's something in it, and he's holding it in his hand. And I didn't know what it was, and didn't, of course, didn't care. I said, have a stool there. He said, down there. He just set that down the side of him and sat there a minute to and directly jerked the top of it on twist and jerked it open, jerked out one of these old-fashioned quart bottles about that long. It had them bottle cork stoppers. You see thousands of them. I know. You may have seen them in times, them old. And it was full of this old red whiskey. He poured it out in one of them old-fashioned, old-time cork bottles. Well, he turned it up and he dumped about that fur down in it. Before he took away his head off me, I took it and put it in my mouth. Little like a swallow, hand back down and spit out the door there. He said, well, ain't you ever made none yet? I said, I told you I didn't have no steel. I couldn't get none. Yeah. No place can find none. Well, he grabbed that bottle and he turned up and he jumped over half pint that time. Hand back, and I turned it up and took it in my mouth and picked that door there. And he really swallowed none of it. Mm-hmm. And he emptied that bottle. Well, he just run his hand in there and jerked out another one just like it. And when he mashed together, I see then there's nothing. It just had 3 quart bottles that he poured out in the old fashioned quart bottles. And he drank about a pint out of that, and I never took that supper. I told him, no, I said, I don't really want any more. I said, that other, like turkey breath, it's strong. And I'd done all this, and the boy said I was ready and waiting for him, and I had that 38 special, you see it, yes, and it had it poked down my front pocket there, head on breeches.
You had it or he did?
I had it.
Yeah.
Had it right over you. And I done waiting ready. To tell you the truth about it, I was waiting ready. And I just got up and put this foot up in the door there and turned around just like that and run my hand and then got it and pulled it out down up where the seal was ready to come out in the pocket. Turned around, I said, you want me to tell you who you are? Yeah, he said, I'd like it to. I said, you ain't nothing but a goddamn son of a bitch in revenue. I said, that's what you was when you come and what you are right now. I said, that's all you are. And he jumped up and he said, my name's Cons. And he grabbed that bottle about half full. He drank half of it in this hand and that sack of quart and the other. And he knocked me outdoors. He went out to it and he went through and fly and went on that night and got shed of crab tree to go and get our coffee and have it next morning still daylight. And he went and got him and took him over there, and he'd done poured enough of beer into a little hole ciphered in with a funnel. he jumped up behind that barrel and arrested the guy there and sent him off 3 years and made revenue out of the Shelley Crabtree.
So Shelley Crabtree was a revenuer?
Yeah.
And they were trying to set you up, huh?
Yeah. He done put him in revenue they had. And he was trying to trap me, and he trapped guy. He went on and told Shelley that night to go get the guy next morning and have him still at the break of daylight. And he went and set up with him midnight on until daylight and got him over there. And he was laying there behind the barrel. And when the guy walked in, he was in front of Shelley. He jumped up and threw the pistol in his face and said, "Hold the hands up," and took him.
Huh.
And sent him off 3 years, and let Shelley run around over here to
Wow.
Stearns. They sent him there.
I bet. How long ago was that?
That's been about 2 years, ain't it? Yeah.
So they tried to trap you.
Yeah. He was trying to trap me, see. He didn't trap me, though. I let some sharp for him. That's what I told you about. I can look at these revenues and read their mind fast, and they can talk to me. Just sit and read it what time they're talking. You know, just exactly what, like said that did when that walked in there and said, "We know what that woman was talking about," and went out the door there.
Yeah. But tell me, I just got like a minute or two left here on this tape. Did you ever hear any other stories about Billy Dean Anderson when he was hiding out? I mean, did you just hear stories about
No,
him?
I never did hear nothing. I never heard nothing said about him. No, I'm telling you the truth.
Okay.
And nothing else but the truth. I never seen the man. I told you one time I wouldn't know him. If he'd have been living and he'd have walked out in with you, and one of them times said, "That's Billy," I wouldn't know who he was.
Uh-huh.
Man come along and said who it was. I said I know him, and I didn't know you, and I didn't know the other
Okay.
man. And that's the way it went.
I'm just trying to figure out what kind of a person he was. I mean, was he a
Well, I reckon he was all right. There wasn't nothing wrong with him. Not as ever I heard of.
Preached at one time.
He was a preacher?
That's what I heard.
He's a minister.
Yeah.
But I mean, was he? I've heard some people say he's a really rough, mean guy, and
Oh,
you know.
I never heard anything about that.
Uh-huh.
You have to ask somebody else to know something about that. I don't know about that. I never
Only
heard
if you tried to push him around.
Oh, if you want to
Uh-huh.
drive him around, of course, there ain't nobody's going to let you drive him around thinking Hector says.
You don't think he was a bad fellow if you didn't push him?
I know. I never heard nothing said like that about him.
I figure it seems funny though. If he was a preacher, how did he get into trouble? Like,
Well, just somebody trying to drag him around, you know, like they do, like they did Jack Sharp and what do you call him? He lives down there on Ike Williams' house in there now.
uh-huh.
Taft Davis, we went to Mount Silver, it's been 2 or 3 months ago, and there's 3 got in a car and got after him. They run back down at Mount Pigeon, and they was going to drag him out and kill both of them, you know. Well, of course, Taft had a pistol, a 32 special, and he run around and they finally stopped that car and said everything could be thought of between there and town.
Who was that?
Taft, them fellows did, at Mount Silver. And he run around to get, he told, there's 3 of them, told the other 2, said, "You get him, kill him," said, "Now kill that one." That was Taft. And when he throwed that door open, Taft threw that 32 special into him up there, and the other 2 flew. And when he got up, of course, they was leaving there. He jumped in that car and drove back to Mount Silver after he shot. Right through and through, sheriff. Right.
They claimed Billy Dean, when he was preaching, there wasn't too many people went to hear him. And they think that's the reason why he fell back. And then the law got to pushing him around kind of every time he'd get into a little something.
Mm-hmm.
And That's why he got started off like he did, I guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you don't think he was... What do people think around here about him getting shot?
They think it's awful.
Yeah. There ain't none of them satisfied about it.
I ain't heard nobody say no different.
No, he didn't deserve to be killed.
I don't think so.
No.
All I've ever heard about him, people spoke well of him.
That's all I heard said about him, too. Well, there's one thing I can say about it. If I know that they know who the man was that killed him, if went in and get him, kill him right now, I wouldn't tell nobody that's going to get him. I might be there, too. I'd put a bullet in him, too.
They told on the news, the FBI did when they killed him, that he had a book with him. They never did tell what that book was, but some of his relation told me that it was there, that it was a Bible he had with him.
Do you think he was set up to get killed there?
I think so.
Yeah.
In other words, he wasn't really raising his gun to shoot at anybody.
No.
I don't think so. They told that, but I don't believe it.
Well, there's two of them come here from Bowling Green. Where's Bowling Green at?
Kentucky.
Well, there's two of them from Bowling Green, and they had a brand new rifle, and that's the second word after spoke, I